same thing. There are 9 qualities. Sravanam, hearing about the glory of the Lord. Kirtanam, I am on the 6th verse. Singing about his praise, Lord's praise. Therefore, Kirtanam, then Smaranam is remembering him always, attending on him Mahatam Gate, to attend to that way. Seva means service or attending. Then Seve Javana Sir Dasam, worshipping him, saluting him, and then practicing the attitude of Dasa, servant and master servant attitude towards him. They're developing love, sakyam, friendship, intimacy with him, sakyam, atma samarpanam, and then surrendering oneself to the Lord. These are the 9 forms of devotion of the Lord, the refuge of all holy men. Refuge of all holy men. Anyone wants to be a holy, they take refuge to these 9-fold practices. So this is the same thing which you have read. It is only emphasizing. Narada said this. Your book of Bhagavad Gita, we are reading this book. This book.
Yeah, I can sit next to him.
Yeah, one can share.
I can get one from the bookstore.
If it is available, go check it. Bhakti
It
Ratnavali.
looks like this.
Bhakti Ratnavali. Now, 7th verse, let us read that. Please come. Yeah, there is the come.
Thank you so much.
No. One can sit there. Huh? Come.
I'll sit back here. I don't want to sit there with my
But
shoes.
you need to, anyhow, but you need a book. Or you only listen, okay? Go.
I'll listen. Thanks.
Okay. You're okay?
Thank
you. You can put in a chair all the things. Okay, now 7th verse. We are
I think you read that last time, didn't you? Didn't
No.
you read the 7th one?
No. Shrutam sankirtito dhyana. Shrutam sankirtito dhyana. Pujitascha adrito piva. Pujitascha adrito piva. Nrinam dhunoti bhagavan. Nrinam dhunoti bhagavan. Hritstha janma ayuta subham. Hritstha janma ayuta subham. Janma ajuta asubham. Ajuta asubham. Janma ajuta asubham. Got it? Last one. Janma ajuta ashubham. Meaning, janma means birth, which is ashubha, inauspicious. Because birth means suffering, death, as Buddhistic philosophy tells us. Life is a simple attitude of turning into one, or you didn't get anything.
No, they don't have it.
That's it. So one people, so it removes Srutam. Yes, you are right. You have read this book. Srutam, if you listen, the glories of the Lord, Srutam, Sankirtito, you pray, you chant the hymns of the Lord. In every religion, we have chanting of the hymns and prayers. So if one chants some hymns for the Lord, then dhyana, meditate, contemplate on the Lord, Sankirtita, meditates on Him, pujita, worships Him, take ritualistic worship as we do in our temple, ritualistic worship, and adrito opiva, devotes himself some time with love and affection for his service. Then what happens if you do this? The Lord, out of His infinite mercy, what He does? Ninang Dhunati Bhagavan. Bhagavan, Dhunati means wipes out. Wipes out, destroys what? Shitsto, from the heart, where we are bound into the objects of this attachment. He, the Lord, Janmo, Ayu, Ajuto, Ashubham. Janmo, Ajuto, Ashubham. Ajuto means hundreds and thousands of lives of birth and death. Janmo. Janmo means birth. Millions of times we are born, and because we are born, we suffer so much. So He destroys, the Lord, out of His kindness, destroys all these types of afflictions from the heart of that devotee. Which devotee? Condition is given. Shuta. When the devotee hears about Him. Lord's glory. All the classes are like that, Lord's glory. Either you call Vedanta, or you call Bhakti, or you call Dhyana or Yoga, whatever you say. These are all, whenever you are listening, it is about God, for God realization. So if one listens, when devotees hears about God, that devotee who hears about God, that devotee who praises and sings the hymns and prayers of God, and that devotee who meditates upon God, that devotee who worships Him, and that devotee who devotes himself to the service of the Lord, meaning those sevenfold practices he does, then the Lord, out of His own mercy, removes so much affliction which is accumulated, not in this life, but in lives and lives. We do not know how many past lives we have, and whatever we have gathered, those afflictions, those negativities, God removes, wipes out, destroys His sins. Why sin means? In Vedanta we have no sin. Sin means the negativity. Sin means all the afflictions and pain and things we carry in our heart. Anger, frustration, everything is carried. That is sin. Why sin? Because it does not give us joy. That deprives us from joy and bliss. That is sin. Make it.
What's the Sanskrit word that they use?
Dhunoti. Dhunoti is the destroy.
And what's the word for
Ashubham. Ashubham, last word.
Shu.
Ashubham. ওটা শুভম না,
Ashubha.
ওই যে conjoined sentence, last word. অযুত, অ, and ashubham. Two o means a. Sanskrit, double o makes a. Ajuta, ashubham. Ajuta, shubham. That's why when you pronounce in Sanskrit, it should be, as I say, long vowel, I always say, because otherwise meaning will be opposite. That's why Sanskrit is such a language, if you don't really properly pronounce ajutta, if you say ta, then it will be shubham. That means it destroys all auspicious activities. Opposite meaning. It destroys all good things you did, all meditation you did, all he will throw away. No. Ajuta, ashubham, ajuta, shubham. See, this is very significant. That's why we always say, read Chandi, read Gita, whatever you read, should pronounce properly, so that the meaning does not get opposite meaning, totally opposite. That happened. That story we always say about the demon who was doing some performance of the home of fire to be the king of heaven, and so that his enemy, who was Indra, the god of gods, let his head up, let his own head chopped up, or his head goes out. That means he dies, simple thing. And what happened at the end of the performance? The person who was doing all this offering, his head went up. Because he mispronounced this way. He said, my enemy Indra his head should go away. And he pronounced his Indra Shatru. That means Indrasya Satru, who is enemy to Indra. He is my enemy. He is my enemy. Let his head go away. That's why I am performing this auspicious activity. And he pronounced in such a way, which meant actually, in practical purpose, that Indra is his Satru, that means me. So he offered every time with the wrong pronunciation, and at the end of the performance, his head went up. Okay, so this is now next verse. Probably we read that 7 verse. Now let us go to that. Now Kunti, Mother Kunti, who is the mother of the 5 Pandava brothers, Arjuna, Yudhishthira, and Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva. These are the 5 brothers, Arjuna's brother. So their mother's name was Kunti. The Kunti is talking on the result of the above practice. Again, first they said it is very important in the previous chapter. Now they are saying those who do, what benefit comes in their life. It is like a inspiring people to practice devotion. If we know the glory and the achievements and the benefit, then what happened? Then we feel more interested in practicing. So, Sinnanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, Sinnanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, Abhikshnasha, Smaranti, Abhikshnasha, Smaranti, Nannanti, Tabehitam Jana, Nannanti, Tabehitam Jana, Taiva Pashyan Ati Achirena Tavakam, Taiva Pashyan Achirena Tavakam, Taiva Pashyanti, Taiva Pashyanti Achirena Tavakam, Pashyanti Achirena Tavakam, Bhava Pravaho Paramam Padambujam, Bhava Pravaho Paramam Padambujam. So, this is the glory. Glory, what glory? Now, those people again saying, Shunnanti, those people who are listening to the glories of God, same word. Gayanti, sings the glories themselves. Grinnanti Abhiksnasa, accepting, speaks about thee. Abhiksnasa means all the time. Abhiksnasa means seeing. How they, let me see this. Yeah. Shinnanti, acha. They constantly, even papinasto. It says that those who have chanted and heard like that, by that their heart becomes pure. That has been said in the previous verse. This book explains this way. Your votaries, that means who loves you, who practices this devotional practice, constantly they hear, Gayanti, they sing, Grinnanti, they pray, Avikshnasa Smaranti, remembers all the time, Nandanti, they rejoice in the deeds of his God's glories, Tabe Hitam Jana. They what they do? Taeva Pashyanti Achireno. Speedily do they get the sight of thy lotus feet. That means they get your vision. This is inspiring. Those people who do practice in this way, think of you, sing your glories, listen to your holy words, and chant the name, and in this way they transform themselves. What happened? Now they speedily they get a new eye sight. This eye cannot show us God. This eye, actually no one sees God through this eye. The mystic eye, we call. That's why if it is this eye, then when Ramakrishna had the vision of mother, all around the people who were standing there, they would also have the vision. These eyes are there, but as if this eyes is dysfunctional. Through these eyes, though it started with the image of God, what we all will see, but then he enters into another realm. That's called Jnana Chakshu. That's why in the spiritual, in the holy people, holy gods and goddesses, you find another eye. Huh? That's called the third eye. Normally it is called the Jnana Chakshu, no, eye of knowledge. Or as she is saying, it may be eye of devotion. Because of your devotional practice, your new devotional eye opens up, with which you can see, feel the presence and see the divine presence. Speedily they get the sight. They don't have to wait for long. If they constantly practice that, they will quickly have the fortune of seeing the glory of the Lord. Seeing him from form, which result in, what will be the result of that? Bhava pravaho uparamam. Bhava means birth. Bhu dhatu means janma. Again janma, again birth, again birth, again birth, again birth. This pravaho means flow. Flow of this birth in which we are all moving every day, no? See, from our birth, we are every day dying, every day born. Every day dying, every day born, isn't it? Old body, old mind, it becomes old. And we are born, say we celebrate every year, birthday. That means what? You celebrate your death of the other and the beginning of the new year, isn't it? Body, this old body, which was 50 years old, now you are in 51. Okay, you say, oh, I'm 1 year now. Means what? You are saying your 50th body is gone. You've got a body of 51. Isn't it? And 51 goes, 52. Like that in this one life. And if you say that we believe the rebirth again, unless we realize God, Ramakrishna says, everyone will have to come back again unless you have realized God in this body itself. Any point of time you realize God, bas. You need not have to come. If you come, that is a joyful thing. No? You see God everywhere, you serve God. So that's a different thing. You are not in pain, not in fear, not in anxiety, worries, because you know it is a fun, because you know the truth. So they will stopping the flow of the stream of reincarnation. That is the Kunti, Mother Kunti says like that. And the same two ideas are not too different. Previous verse said that Janmo Ojuto Ashubham. God removes the sins of our infinite number of birth and death which we have accumulated. God removes them. And here he says, if you practice, hear, listen, pray, serve God, and in this practice, if you continue the ninefold, then ultimately, in quick time, you will experience. What will you experience? The vision of God, which will stop the flow of birth and death. You will not have to be born again compulsively. We are born compulsively. We have no power to stop it. But say people like Ramakrishna, Mother, they come by their volition. No one is forcing them. They come out of compassion and they know fully well the truth of the universe. So got it? Huh?
Yeah, and it seems like it's a shortcut, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Instead of keep coming back to learn the lessons, do it this way, and then you take the shortcut. But it also seems like we have to figure out the shortcut for ourselves. Like
who likes which path?
And it takes many lives to figure it out anyways, I guess. So really there is no shortcuts. Just by the time you find it, you're almost there anyway, maybe. I don't know.
But
Does that depend on individual situation? What would happen to somebody like you who had the benefit of holy company, and then you follow that shining path?
There.
And the other people down here on Hollywood Boulevard are just doing drugs and getting drunk.
No,
So
that
obviously
also.
they're just swirling in darkness, and you're on a shining path.
Yeah, but that's also true. What it comes in our life, we say, is God's grace. No, in this life we get it. So how we get holy company, how we get deprived from that, when it comes, sometimes we don't know that I did something very important that I got it.
Right.
But it is God's grace. But this is, of course, in Vedanta we'll say you have your karma, good karma, that is why you got it. But anyway, true, this is an opportunity. But what it is saying, if we take the main idea, what Sri Ramakrishna said, that any way to think about God, if one practices that in the path of jnana, meditation, dhyana, bhakti, whatever, if one can keep the mind constantly in God, naturally quicker will be the progress. It is a very simple thing, no? If I say I am practicing meditation for 30 years, okay, I'll ask you 30 years, how many real minutes you did meditation?
Yeah.
I'm doing 30 years, 30 years one. I get up in the morning, no time, I'm hurriedly running. In between, I try to make my 10 minutes time or 5 minutes time. Sometimes that also I cannot do. And that is the way I spend 30 years. You add all those moments, it will not be in one day, 24 hours. In 30 hours living, 24 hours to constantly think like that, we didn't do that. But I say, I am doing so much, nothing happening. No? So what he's saying, no. Try to keep your mind engaged with listening the glory of the Lord, speaking about Him. Don't talk mundane talks. That's why Scripture always said, don't waste your time. The time is most valuable, but you can utilize it in the most possible way. Our son Ashok turns like that. So you can put your chair little on this side. Do it. You are free. So how much we do in a day? See, be very realistic. Till morning now, tell me how many moments I thought about God, I talk about God. My mind was tuned to God.
It, not just the quantity, but the quality.
Quality.
Though.
Yeah, quality. Some people may be going to some discussion group and they come back, they don't gain much. It's an intellectual satisfaction sometimes. But who gathers something, who feels something inside, intensity, what the quality, as you said, better word is quality. Quality, and if that qualitative meditation, qualitative listening, qualitative talk, qualitative absorption of the ideas happens more and more, it is natural. Time you are utilizing. One day means, for them, one day means what? Holy Mother saying in that you people she's talking to a young uh, man or girl, I do not know, that is not mentioned. She says that at your age, I had to do so much of work. Day and night I used to do work. But I could chant even 100,000. 100,000. The practices and mind is going on constantly. We may say, not that it is qualitative. Suppose if you always try to practice, may not be qualitative. But we have to start that to get that quality. To get a quality, you first go to the quantity.
Well,
maybe the historian is all day.
Come. Come in. Come here, sit wherever. Yeah. So,
the historian is engaging himself all day on the discussion of Rama, but the historic character, why was Ajodhya,
with a
Exactly
devotion.
what
At
I'm
which
saying.
perspective? You are
So
thinking of Rama as a historic person and you are a history person. Your perspective is different. That will not, you are not talking about God thinking He is the soul, heart and soul of the whole universe. It is, say again, the sincerity.
how about another person is thinking about his own father, worldly person in that, but he's thinking about how the courage of father, how he used to deal with truthfulness, like that way. Maybe that mundane way, that person is not the God himself, but the qualities he's thinking is God-like qualities.
Here, quality we mean not that. Quality of your meditation, quality of your sincerity,
The depth,
quality of
kind
your
of
depth. Depth, what she meant, I think, Parma, did you not mean? The depth.
Yeah,
Eh,
the
Quality means,
emotional connection.
it is
Because
not
it's,
intellectual only, or it is
Right.
not I am focusing on the good quality, ha ha ha, and thank you.
yeah,
Not that, but it is how, what a wonderful spiritual, and my heart is getting tuned to that
yeah.
consciousness.
Because it's one thing to
Yeah.
just read the words blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You
Yeah.
might as well just be reading blah blah blah. But when you read the words and you feel the words and the
Yeah.
emotions
Hmm.
come, that's like so uplifting.
That is important point. Mane,
So it has to be Krishna and divine quality of Krishna. It cannot be one
anywhere
name
if you can
and
see,
form in that. It
No,
has
no.
to be in that name and
no,
form.
why in that form? You love Rama.
No, I'm saying like that. Rama, Krishna, Ram, Krishna, like that, already established. It cannot be like that. You put divinity on some person and
Yeah.
then thinking on that divinity.
You are not, though you say I am putting divinity in this person, you think of the person. You have not matured to see the divine in them yet. That's why better to start where divinity is fully manifest, and then through that you will extend into others. We do a mistake. Every lover, every boy, every girl having romantic love, they say, I am seeing God in you. Ah. And why don't you see God in you after a few years? Huh? They know. So the point is that is the risky path. Rather, you go through the pure path of seeing Rama, Krishna, Christ, Buddha, who are saturated with this purity, love, compassion, holiness, then, and through that you can channelize, then you are safer path. But other way when we go, it is in one way I am cheating myself because I don't know. I love a person as a person. I love a person because of his sweetness, or because of his love, or something which appeals to my mind. Because I like my mind. My mind resonates with that. But here is not the point. Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Christ, you cannot think anything there imperfect. Now, of course, historians will find imperfection, critics will find imperfection. A bhakta does not go to God in that with that view. Bhakta wants to see everything. I love Ramakrishna. Even Ramakrishna says something, I will make a meaning which is spiritually uplifting for me. But if we start not with God or godly people like that and make a mistake of thinking that I see God in him, if you can do that, you are much advanced. It is not the question. We are not talking about that. They are advanced. You have crossed their level. But who is there? How many people will they? We can see them. They will be. If you look at that person, you will find that he is absorbed in God. In his presence, you can find uplifting mood. That's called we have talked about holy company, holy company, holy. They are the holy people who live constantly in the awareness of God. Otherwise, there is a risk of fall, and that is the risk. Whole world is being mistreated. You know why in real genuine spirituality, all this idea of tantra and mantra, Ramakrishna order does not very much support it. Why? You are talking there. Every path is correct path. But if you go through that, you are not that strong to keep your pure mind in the level, and you dig into those sensuality and give a name of spirituality. So there is a risky part. So therefore, go to there is no risk. Risk free. And as much as you love their embodiment of the holiness and purity, what will happen? Holiness will percolate. Your heart will be saturated in that thought of holiness and purity. And as a result, when we reach that point, then You see, you are so full inside. And that fullness will project everywhere. It will be equally, not that particular person. Yeah, it will be equally to all. Then you put question, oh, Ramakrishna also loved Swami Vivekananda more than others. But that is a different thing. In between that, in the relative plane, there is a little more or little less. But others will be equally respected. You will see the same God, Samavasti Ishwaram. That Ishvara, the Lord, is residing in the heart of all. That bhakta, that devotee will see everywhere. Maybe more because one person is more spiritual. There you feel more affinity. Suppose a teacher in the same class feels affinity with a student who is very sincere and who is responding, who is very intelligent. He can understand whatever you are saying. His attention goes to that person. No, it is not that, oh, he is discriminating with others. No, discriminating means with a dull boy who does not get it. And tell again and again. You are many of your teachers here. You have your own experiences. And your attention tell me. The student will say, hey, this teacher does not like me. What you cannot accept anything. What the teacher is it is not entering into your head. And at the same time, another he's gulping your ideas. No. So your attention goes in that direction. So the holy people also, when they pay little attention to someone, that is because of the student who is receptive student. That's why Narendra, when it comes, Ramakrishna says, you will get out. And people may feel how much attached to Narendra. As soon as he comes, and he is talking to him only, but not to others. So we got the meaning then. 8 verse, we got the meaning. The devotees who hear about thee on page 146, sing hymns on you, speak about thee, the old language, remember thee and feel joy in thee. They quickly attend to thy holy feet. That is the Indian language, thy holy feet. Western will say you. They will quickly attend to you, or you get the vision of you. Feet is considered very humble and feet is considered very holy for devotional practice. Catholics also do that. No, there is some kneeling down and bending. Muslims also do bending the head and down. But they have no feet there because God has no feet there. God is everywhere, so God is not a personal. But Hindus have the God with feet because God is a person. So you can pour your heat, or you can see his feet or her feet, holy feet, which put an end to the transmigratory existence. The benefit of practice of devotion is that it can stop your transmigratory life. Even in the people in the age in this one life, if they get the realization, the body goes on with his pain and suffering, but he is above. He becomes above that. That's why he transcends the transmigratory, the suffering of the life. As I said, that someone is living at the 50th year. So 50th year is dead. 51st year is born into the 51st year. You know? So when 51st year is born, then 51st years, all pains and agonies and this and that will start. And you go through it, but you suffer. But when you practice this type of spirituality with intensity and devotion, then what will happen? 52nd year will continue, but you will not feel the pains and sufferings. Your mind will be soaring in something divine thought, joyful thought, peaceful thought. The body will go on. That is the benefit.
Joe McLeod said that I was born the day I met Swamiji.
Yeah. Miss MacLeod, who died here in this room, this small office room. This is the place, was the old center, Vedanta center. And Swami Prabhupada used to sit somewhere in this room. And here is Aldous Huxley, Christopher Isherwood, all this. Don't think it is an ordinary place. You are sitting here. All the people used to be here, all the monks and nuns will gather here and all these early days. And then she at the end age, when she was very old, Swami Sarvadevananda invited MacLeod to stay. So she lived in that room.
Your office.
Office.
Is that your office?
And this also inside some of the sister Lolita, who was served Swami Vivekananda, is here. This is a holy land. We live here, we don't understand His glory. But so why did I say that?
Because
MacLeod said. So that MacLeod said, what is your age? She used to say, my age is 20 years. So she was an old lady and saying 20 years. So everyone will be joking. How come you are it looks more than 70 years old and now you are saying you are 20 years? Well, yes, I was born the day I saw Swami Vivekananda. That's my birth. I don't count the life before. That is the job. See, Swami Vivekananda made such an impact in her life and transformation. She counted that is their birthday. That is really she was born in spiritual life. 9th verse. Ahang Hare Tabu Padaika Mula. Ahang Hare Tabu Padaika Mula. Dasanudasi Bhavitasmi Bhuyaha. Dasanudasi Bhavitasmi Bhuyaha. Manasmareta. Hey, I am in trouble now. Ahang smareta asupatir gunangste. Manasmareta supate smareto asupatir gunangste. Acha, we'll read the meaning, then we'll understand. Manasmareta supatir gunangste. Mana smareta supatir gunangste. Grinita bakkarma karotu kayaha. Grinita bakkarma karotu kayaha. It's a britra on the attitude of a true devotee. Who is britra? We do not know. That ahang hare tava padaika mulo daso anudaso. He says, let me again and again be the slave of the devotees who serve his lotus feet. Yeah. It's a devotional book. He says, let me be devotee's devotee. Those who serve the Lord's feet, I serve their feet. It's a devotion. Devotion always is humble. Vaishnava school, their ego, to reduce their ego, they say, I am the dust of devotee. Ramakrishna used to say, in the gospel you find, Ramakrishna said, I am the dust of my devotee. The devotees dust and those who love God, I am the dust of their feet. That means so humble. So he says, aham, I, Hare, let me again and again be slave of the devotees who serve his lotus feet. Let my mind dwell on manasmareta. Manaha, mind, smareta means dwell upon the mareto pater gunangste. What is it? Excellences of the Lord. So smareto luptakar asupate. Ki jani asupate. Acha, let my mind, manaha, smareta, remember, Asupater gunam, the guna, the glories of the Lord. The translation করেছে. And let my speech, grinito bak, karmo karotukayo. Let my bak, speech, engage in talking about God.
With Grenita.
Granit means let it absorb, grohan, accept. Bak, karma karotikayo. Karma karotikayo. Let my body be engaged in doing his work. Let my speech be engaged in talking about God. It is saying that all my senses, let them be engaged in connecting with God and God only. Is the devotees. What he says, I, again and again, I become a slave of those who are the lovers of God, real bhakta. Let me be, they serve them, or I become their humble servant of them first. And let my mind be engaged in dwelling on the excellence of the Lord, glories of the Lord. Keep the mind, don't, it is said mind is a precious gem, no? That's why we say, my heart is pure. It is always, don't, what you call, don't throw your pearl among the swines,
Yeah.
Christ said. And the heart is the precious thing. We throw away to mundane, not nasty things, useless things. They cannot appreciate the glory of the devotion and love. So give it to God. Don't put your heart to any nonsense object of the world or idiot in the world. Because they will not honor and they will not be able to understand that. So let my heart as a devotee be given to the Lord. And let my speech be engaged in praising the Lord. And let my body perform the personal service of the Lord. So this is a prayer. How to improve our day-to-day life and make it spiritual, because 24-hour spiritual practice is not so easy. So you engage all your tools towards God. So this book says, which we are reading now, 146 page, the Lord, this is a prayer as it were, may I be born again and again as the servant of your devotees. May my mind always be engaged in the remembrance of the excellence of Thee, who are the support of life's energies. My speech in singing Thy glories, and my body in the works of service to Thee. That is a Karma Yoga idea, Bhakti Yoga idea. If you mix together in our Ramakrishna tradition, this idea is given in all possible way. But though it is a for devotional book, that you serve the Lord only, listen to the glories of the Lord, do with your hand, serve the Lord, with your mind, keep in the thought of excellence of God. Like that, so in Karma Yoga, in Dhyana Yoga, in Bhakti Yoga practice, as this Ramakrishna tradition encourages, use the 4 yogas. So it is actually, though it is talking about Bhakti Yoga, but he is talking about Karma Yoga also. Let your hand be engaged, let your body be engaged in the service of the Lord, let your speech you are talking, let it be engaged in talking about God, your ears be engaged in hearing about the glories of the God. So engage all your senses so that your journey becomes quick. So this is very important point, how the journey can be made quicker. If your all the senses are utilized for one-pointed devotion to God, so then you have to keep yourself engaged, and that will quicken the process. So, did you get it?
Yes.
Yes.
The Kuti,
Hmm?
where did it says Kunti, where does she give instruction and what and like what?
Oh, Kunti, how it gave it is reference. If you want to go to the original, then Kunti was talking in the other verse.
Yeah, the other one. But I was curious, like,
So-
where did she give instruction?
Huh.
You know?
No, that you have to go. I cannot say often because I have not read Bhagavat so well.
Oh.
But you go the first canto book, 8th chapter, 36 verse. Go 146. Look at the
Yeah,
page
the one in
146.
36.
Aye. They take from the bookstore.
Yeah.
The first volume. There are 13 volumes of Bhagavat.
Bhagavad.
Bhagavat.
Bhagavat.
Yeah.
Bhagavat.
This is like the Reader's Digest version of the Bhagavad.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, good. So you take the first volume now,
Okay.
and then on go to the 8th chapter, 36 verse,
Okay.
and you read there. Then you see what
where
context,
that came from.
and all the details before what was going on, why Kunti is saying, to whom she is saying, all this. So these are all reference. If anyone wants to know in details what, why, then you go to the 6th canto, 6th volume. Bring out that next we read today now,
Oh, and
the
this one.
9th verse.
And yeah.
The 9th verse,
Yeah.
you go to the 6th volume and then 11th chapter, 24th verse.
Okay,
And
thank you.
then you read little before, then you know who is Britra, what is the story behind, because it is more elaboration. It is just Oje. What is that? Reader's Digest version of the
They condensed.
condensed
Very
version.
condensed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How the sufferings of embodied existence do not affect a devotee is started in the words of Maitreya. Who is Maitreya? If you ask, I cannot say anything. But if you want to verify it, go to the 3rd volume, 7th verse, 14. They are given the reference. 7th chapter, 14 verse. And then you read there, and it is very nice. You can see there is one book which is condensed with not original verse or nothing given. It is written by the same Swami. What is his name? Madras Mott, Tapasyananda. There you can find that you running part you will read, then you can understand the background and details. We are focusing on one verse,
Right.
and that is the total stories behind that. Now, so how the sufferings of embodied existence do not affect a devotee? As I told, suppose you achieve that devotion, body will undergo difficulties. You will be put into trials and tribulations of life. It will happen. It will not stop. But the devotee will not understand that. He will not feel that suffering. He will be in such a joyful mood in another plane. I tell you, the story of the Bhagavat is that Sri Chaitanya's lifetime, there was one Muslim man, his name was Haridas. Sri Chaitanya gave the name Hari Das, servant of Hari. And he was called Javana Haridas. Javana means Muslim guy, was converted by Sri Chaitanya's impact and started taking the name of the Lord. And because Muslim rule, even now, that's why Muslim country, being a Muslim, you are chanting Hindu God's name. So people complained against him that this man being a Muslim, because that time Muslim rule was there. So they complained to the Kaji, they call Kaji. Kaji means the local, judge. So complained to judge, this guy being a Muslim is all taking Hindu God's name and creating confusion in us. Then come. So what he did, he came, he then judge ordered that cane him till he dies.
Whoa.
How many places? Try in one place. If he does not die, cane him so many times and go to the marketplaces. Every marketplace, so the people will see what is the punishment of being a Muslim, not going to chant the name of Hindu gods, what is the punishment? So she was 24, 24 bazaar. Bazaar means marketplace. In those days, marketplace is the place where many people gather. So, and they were given caning. But he's absorbed in the name of Hari, 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 Krishna, 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 in such that he could not, they could not kill him. So took one marketplace to another marketplace. Then those who are actually being asked to do that job, they said, fell at the feet. Please die, otherwise our head will go. If you don't die, then the Kaji, the judge, will kill us. And then he said, okay. Then actually he, after the last 24th caning, 24th marketplaces, then he, as if he was dead. So, and then he said, no, but caning means you understand what happened to the whole body. It is all bleeding everywhere. And days after days. But he is not feeling anything. And then his body was thrown into the Ganga. And it was floating. And then he woke up some other place. Then he met Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya. That is the life of Javana Haridas. You can read in the Sri Chaitanya's life. So the point is that so much torture is going on the body. Because his mind is so absorbed in the Lord's name. It is not Hori. It is God's name. Say. Yeah. If you say Allah, that's also same. But if you get absorbed in that way, then what the body is going through, you will not understand. So this is the, now they are talking about it. How the sufferings of embodied existence do not affect a devotee. If you are a devotee, it will not affect you. There will be in external situation, it is really pitiable. Suffering, pain, agonies. But internally, you are untouched by. How? That is stated in the words of Maitreya. And what is Maitreya, I cannot tell you. But as I said, go to the volume 3, 7th verse, 7th chapter, 14th verse. And read little earlier. And this way, then you can understand. Merely, Asesha Sanklesha Samang Vidhatte Asesha Sanklesha Samam Vidhatte Gunanubada Sravanang Murarehe Gunanubada Sravanam Murare Kuta Punastat Charanaravinda Kuta Punastat Charanaravinda Paraga Seva Rutiratma Labdha Paraga Seva Rutiratma Labdha. What it says? Atma Labdha. Rutihi Atma Labdha. Merely listening to the excellence of the Lord obliterates in itself the suffering of the transmigratory existence. Merely, but just listening to the glory, excellences of the Lord, it takes away, obliterates in itself by the effect. If one listens with concentrated mind the glories of the Lord and excellence of His, it will obliterate in itself the suffering of the transmigratory existence. No, it will take away all the suffering and pain and anxieties, worries, all these will be taken away. How much more efficacious it would be if one feels delight in the contemplation of His holy feet in one's inmost heart. It is saying that just listening, if you listen with attention, then that can stop your coming and going this birth and rebirth problem. And if you really can meditate on the holy glory of the Lord, then what more effect will come? So how much more efficacious it would be if one feels delight in the contemplation of His holy feet in one's inmost heart. If you really feel the presence of the Lord in your heart, then how much intense will be your joy inside. So outside will not affect. That's why another story, Mirabai's story, the famous story of Mirabai. She was a actually princess, queen. She was a queen, and then she she only loved Krishna, 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 and there's a beautiful story. One small book, Mirabai book, you can read. It's really
Mira's love.
Mira's love. So that's a wonderful book where he says that how she, being a princess, she was married, but she didn't like to marry. She only wanted to marry Krishna. Uh, and then she was forced to marry, and she was married, and then her husband was the king. He was the prince then, and then he became the king, but he died. He tried to honor her sentiments a little bit, but after he passed away, naturally she wanted to be more intoxicated in God. But there are those systems where the next brother who becomes the king, he can marry the queen. So, but he does not want. So she does not want it. So she wants to sing and sing and sing. So much calamity came. Even Akbar, the king, he, it is a historic story, historic life. He came to sing her voice was so sweet when she gets absorbed and sings some Krishna song. So it's so absorbing. There is a Mirabai movie. We sometimes showed it in our temples. 2-3 times we showed. It's old. It's really you get so much emotional. And they see then she was put to so much torture, but she will sing and Akbar, the Emperor Akbar, because to listen to her sweet voice and Akbar was one of the greatest king of India. So she came and this the what you call Rajput king, she got mad, because it's a Muslim king and Hindu Muslim thing is there. But anyhow, she does not know anything. She sang in her own devotion, and when she was singing, Akbar came and listened, and then out of praise gave some offering and went away. Then she used to sing and dance in the street. A queen dancing in the street. And what a dangerous thing. Then she was given to drink poison. Even poison was given. Poison didn't affect. There is story, I don't know whether that much is true. She was put in the form of cannon. It didn't affect. And then actually it is a historic figure. She went and went and went, singing, dancing alone. A beautiful queen in the street, singing and dancing, not caring for her security of the lady. In the open area, But she went to Vrindavan and stayed in one heart and used to bake some food and day and night on Krishna, 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 Krishna. It's a beautiful life. And
The movies are also there.
Mary,
On YouTube.
YouTube we can find. Mirabai in the YouTube.
Lot of Hindi
Okay.
movies are there.
Huh?
Hindi movies are there, black and white and color.
Achha.
Good.
There is
Okay.
this.
And you can listen a lot of Meera bhajan.
Uh,
Beautiful Meera bhajan.
Meera's bhajan are beautiful because that is all to love to Krishna. But it is transliterated. It is given some what you call dubbing.
I don't remember.
But you can check it.
She wrote poetry.
Eh,
Right?
Meera, singing, music,
Yeah.
a composer, and she composed out of her love, and that became famous music songs. At the end of the song, you will say Meera ki lage. What is the time? 38.
Time.
Tea time. Okay, so Meera by M-I-R-A or M-E-E-R-A. Sometimes both. Meera, B-A-I, B-A-I, Meera by. On YouTube, you can search and you can find some movie.
Or you can at least Wikipedia can tell you the business. Wikipedia will tell you her life story.
Okay, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. So how was it yesterday when you reached home?
I was very tired.
Late.
I laid down and I was out. Late. Yes.
Thank you for that. This was mine. See?
Okay.
My knee, well, and me. I write it